Hi, I'm Mark Dice, and welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. Let's continue, and try not to fail this time. So, we've got to deliver a message, and I've got to get rid of all this extra stuff that's going on in the background. There we go. So yes, Kowloon Walled City. Unfortunately, it's gone now. Well, not really unfortunately. It was kind of a terrible place. But let's get in there. Now we have lots of things to do while we're here. Uh-oh. Okay. Random hiccup. A bedraggled old woman looks up from her sewing at the sound of your approach. Clothing! I have good quality clothing for sale. Ever heard anyone say prosperity is in the walled city? She cocks her head like a dog listening to a noise that it can't understand. Prosperity? She sounds it out to herself. I don't know what that means. Any news here? Anything interesting? Interesting? Here? No, nothing changes here. Nothing changes. She settles her weight with an inaudible harumph. Strangler Bao is the big man now. He is very important, very impatient. You know Bao? Well, we'd love to meet him. Well, he requested a suit, and it took only 1 day longer than expected. The bastard refused to accept it. She spits. You see, your friend Bao, you tell him that he still owes me for my time. I don't sew for nothing. You can't eat air. We'll get right on that. She nods sagely. You see that you do. Now, what else do you want? Later, lady. Oh, look, a bloody elf. A young woman lies on the ground. She's a bloody mess. Streaks and spatters of crimson crisscross her blouse and mat her hair. Judging by the quality of her clothing and the bag on her shoulder, you'd make her out as a student. She is as out of place as a librarian would be in a game of urban brawl. She struggles to move, but she's clearly exhausted. The dark circles under her eyes tell you that she hasn't slept in days. When the woman sees you heading her way, her face hardens. You see her hand slip into her jacket pocket. But as she studies your faces, the fear in her eyes gives way to curiosity. You guys don't look like you're from around here. A hacking cough shakes her, but her eyes remain fixed on you. That's right, we're out-of-towners. Cool, that's cool. She looks like she can barely keep her eyes open. Predators. I'm okay, though. The blood's theirs. Thought I'd rest here for a minute before I got back to work. Work? You here on a job? She shakes her head. No, school. I'm a student at HKU. She glances around watchfully, over your shoulder, at the buildings looming above her, into the windows nearby. Here to do some research. Gotta finish before I can leave. Yeah, this place is dangerous. What are you doing here alone? I wasn't alone. Not until a few days ago. Another long, wet cough. I've been living with a family in one of the inner blocks for the last couple months, working on my master's thesis. What happened to the family? A pained expression washes over her face. I'm not 100% sure. The mother? She worked in a dive bar as a hostess. The father was a handyman. They never really went anywhere. They didn't have the money to. I just woke up one day and the whole family was gone. Just gone. I squatted in their place for a while, then some people started coming around, eyeing the place. I figured I should get out, finish my research as fast as I could, and head back to campus. Then I got sick. Wu grunts. What kind of research would you do in a place like this? My thesis is about feng shui in the sixth world. This is the right place to do it. The only place to do it. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. What does feng shui have to do with the slum? Everything, I think. Absolutely everything. Rich people hire geomancers to design their interiors of their home, attune them just right to achieve balance and harmony. The poor have nothing like that. Leave a slum to fester long enough and you get this. She glances at her surroundings, a look of profound disgust on her face. I think that the negative feng shui of places like this affect the people who live here, that it changes them in a fundamental way, makes them less capable of breaking the cycle and getting out. That's what I'm trying to prove. Before the awakening, people thought of feng shui as a philosophical system. Now in the sixth world, it's more than that. It's actually a form of magic. The whole thing revolves around qi, the invisible life energy that binds every person and thing together. It's very real here in Hong Kong. Nobody knows the reason why. Maybe it's only real because people believe it is. The important thing is it's measurable, quantifiable phenomenon. And there's an entire industry that's grown up around it. So how's the qi in this place? It's wrong. All wrong. The feng shui in the walled city is completely screwed. I mean, look at the place. She gestures at the squalor surrounding you. You can feel it, right? I felt that something was wrong the minute I walked in. Bad qi, huh? Yeah. Bad feng shui. Qi needs to flow or it goes sour. Positive feng shui allows that to happen. The bloody woman clears her throat and lets out a hacking cough. The effort requires a moment for her to recover before she speaks again. You know, I'd hate to admit it, but I could use some help. I started running an, well, I guess you'd call it an experiment of sorts. Nothing conclusive. Just a few quick trials to support my hypothesis before I go into hardcore data gathering mode. There are only a few things left to do. If you could finish them for me, I could get out of here. She holds out a crumpled piece of paper. Please follow the notes in this sheet. Oh, skippy things. I need to make adjustments to the area's feng shui. My notes will tell you how. The goal is to remove sources of friction and record the results. My hypothesis is that even small adjustments can have a measurable impact on qi flow. If I'm right, it should improve, and life here should get just a little bit better. I'll see what I can do. So yes, we have 3 things to find. And also try not to kill any Yellow Lotus members, of course. I'm pretty sure there's one back here. Putrid stench emanates from the remains of this building. You see nothing that would cause it. I thought that was one of the thingies. Guess not. I thought there was like one in a trash pile. There's one like hanging off a roof. There's not one back here. No. Also, the maps are significantly larger in this game, which is nice. Is it up here? This one's mine. Step off. Okay, yeah, I got it. It's your generator. Calm yourself. Don't care about your garbage. Yeah, see, there's one. Let's see what the merchant has. The street vendor gestures you toward a jumbled pile of tarnished chains, costume jewelry, and trinkets on a stained flannel blanket. Look at these beauties. Very valuable. Very pretty. Show me what you're selling. Selling fetishes. Don't care. See you around. Could ask him about prosperity, but he won't know anything about prosperity. Wires are sparking dangerously just above the doorway. Rip the offending wires out. Problem is gone, but not necessarily resolved. 1 out of 3. They're some of his enforcers, so let's avoid that. The market stall has been picked clean, its owner replaced by a pool of dried blood. Well, dried blood can't help me buy my goods. Spiritual energy. Gobbet comes up short. She gestures down at a pile of filthy rags on the floor. A man's shirt encrusted with dried blood and grime. Hey, hold up. This cloth has a lot of negative energy coming off of it. I think that there's a spirit bound to it. Interesting. What can you tell me about this spirit? Well, it's a ghost. Either that or the spirit of a man that thinks it's a ghost. It's hard to be sure. She stares at the cloth, frowning. Whatever it is, it's upset. I can feel its anger and sorrow from here. But that's all I can get from it while it's hiding like this. I could coax it out of the cloth and talk with it if you want. Maybe it'll lead you to something. She shrugs. Or it could attack us and rip out our souls. There's no way to tell without trying. Go ahead and do it, Gobbet. I want to hear what the spirit has to say. Sure thing. Her eyes go beady and her nose crinkles. Just let me try to establish a connection. Ugh, put your skin on, dude. You're in public. The air above the bloody rag shimmers. Slowly, something close to a man shape coalesces into being. A soft voice echoes out from deep inside, as if it began somewhere else. What is this? The spirit peers through the eyes, as soft and undefined as poached eggs. Where am I? Kowloon, walled city. His expression changes, moves from lost to found. Still, it raises its hand to examine them, blank eyes sweeping over dead flesh. How? What's the last thing you remember? The last thing... The spirit searches the sky for an answer. I was pushed out of my shop, hunted through alleys. The spirit's mouth widens in horror. Bao and his men. I wouldn't pay them, wouldn't accept their protection. Proud. I was too proud. A cold light flares from somewhere deep in its throat. They tore me apart, butchered me like a duck. It searches the sky, the ground, tearing at memories inside itself. As it relives its own death, a network of deep cuts open on its waxy skin, splattering black ichor on the ground. The cold light within it grows brighter. It pulses up the thing's throat and into its mouth, forcing its jaw to unhinge like a snake. A burning radiance pours out of the spirit's mouth like vomit, spattering the ground in an ectoplasmic flood of anger and despair. If I were in your shoes, I'd want some revenge. Yes, revenge. The resonance of the words penetrates you, scrapes at something inside you. Gobbet gives you a sidelong glance. Careful, Puncher. Cheng didn't want any Yellow Lotus killed. Revenge. The spirit's spidery fingers twitch. They begin to curl, then taper, then blacken until they're a set of wicked sharp hooks. The spirit looks at you, expecting you. Wait. Maybe. Because if you do this, you actually lose points. So I don't want to lose points. Wait, maybe you should let all that hatred go. Be better than them. Could you get me into Bao's Lotus Den peacefully? The spirit's eyes roll in its head and it shudders, struggling to let the passion dissipate. I had a friend. It squeezes its eyes shut as it struggles to remember. A smuggler of animals. He had a space, hidden secret. Yeah, tell me about the secret space. An entrance to the sublevels. The spirit clasps its head in its hands. A chute, a door, red paint and numbers. 5465, 5465. Thank you, spirit. The entity squeezes its eyes shut and turns away. 5465, 5465, 5465. See ya, creep. Yeah, if you try to get past here, they'll pretty much pick a fight with you or tell you to piss off. So I thought there was somewhere around here you can pass over. this area is, like, impossible to navigate. Yeah, that's just back towards the beginning. And now that's gonna help. Let's do this. Let's quick save, because I don't want to kill anybody. I mean, I want to, but I can't. Or I guess I should say I shouldn't. So let's talk to the yellow. Actually, you know what? Let's just avoid them. Oh, hey, look. You come upon a heavily muscled triad soldier screaming at a bearded old man holding a bleeding nose. The punk wags a cheap disposable cred stick in the old man's face. This? The bright plastic case would look cheerful if it weren't smeared with blood. This isn't enough. You've got two options, old man. You can find a way to pay me all the money, or you can drag your bony ass deeper into the wall. Find a spot for yourself there with the pimps and the predators. They should find a nice use for you. Good, your choice. The old man wails, It's not fair. I can't just pack up and leave. I've been living here 22 years, and I... This is how it's going to be? He rolls his burly shoulders. Fine with me. Well, it wasn't a neck punch, but I guess it'll do. He's out cold. At least he didn't, like, roll in like a hero trying to save the guy. These tires have been set aflame and been burning for some time. The smell is awful. Yeah, I think we need... This thing's stupid. Yeah, here we go. Bucket of sand. Which it's good that they didn't use water, because water on burning tires is bad news. Yep. Pour the bucket of sand onto the flames. And I gotta send something real quick. Oh, I'll just do it in Gmail. So give me like 2 seconds. So that's 2 of 3. And let me just write this quick email. Okay, there we go. All sent. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's go find the third thing. I thought it was over here. I think maybe we get it on the way out. Does only appear after. I don't remember. Let me just take a quick look. I thought there was one more thing, like one of these, or... I only have 2 out of 3. So, really hate having to use the slide. Oh well. We'll find it later. It doesn't matter. I think it's only like 2 karma if you get it done. I think also if you have a lot of speech, like if you're a summoner, you can just talk your way past them. Oh, no, I think it's back here. I'm trying to remember, because you come into the walled city, obviously, a few times. Maggots churn within stews of unidentifiable ingredients. Probably best not to know. Hey, gunrunner. Do you have guns? A tubby man with a twice broken nose glances up at you from a pile of gun parts. He offers you a gap-toothed smile. Nice firearms here, good for protection. You got a husband or wife? You got kids? You keep them safe with one of these beauties. Quality is guaranteed. Your satisfaction is everything. What do you want to buy? Bao, know you're selling guns in his area? Got Bao's permission to sell weapons in this stall. Been selling a lot of them, even more than usual. He grins. That's good for me. Show me what you got. Nothing really that useful. No thanks, gotta run. Plus we're saving up for hand knives anyway, so why would you need that? I don't know if I'm going to do hand knives or like the whip as opposed to punching people. I mean, the whip and the hand knives are pretty damn good, don't get me wrong, but... let's not talk to the Yellow Lotus Enforcer. Is this what we're looking for? The old rusted water valve might be able to close off the flow of water that's been pouring out of the broken pipe. Wrench the shutoff controls. The flow of water ceases. Less clean water will run off into the streets now. Now I have to pee. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's everything repaired. So let's go talk to the lady. Tell her to get the hell out of here. Hey, the old man's up. I thought she was gone for a second. The young woman startles at your approach, fumbling for something in her pocket. Then she recognizes you. She relaxes. Is it done? It's done. Thank you. Thank you so much. The young woman sighs with relief. She opens a flap in her satchel, reaches inside, and produces a plastic sheath. I'm not magically active, so I can't see the flow of chi in the area, but I've got test strips. Little sheets of paper embedded with chi-sensitive bacteria. It's a close relative of FAB, but it doesn't see much use outside of Hong Kong. She pulls a strip out of the sheath and holds it in the air. Within a second, the ink turns black. She lets out a dejected sigh, her eyes shifting from the strip to her watch, then to the strip again. She looks utterly defeated. Damn it, I've been making adjustments for weeks now, trying to get the chi to circulate better, and nothing seems to work. If anything, this one went bad even faster than the control strips I took when I got here. Any idea why? No, it should work. I followed the text, done everything right. The chi here is rancid, that's obvious, but I swear it's even worse than it should be. No wonder this place is so disgusting. I get what you mean. The student coughs and rests her head in her hands. That's it. I'm getting out of here. In a little while, gotta tell my advisor about this. Thanks for the help. Hope you don't stay long. I sure as hell won't. Yeah, probably best to leave. Imagine poor Gobbet. She can see it. I mean, as a rat shaman, it's not so bad, but... I mean, you probably see worse as a rat shaman. I mean, at least it's not like she's a satanic deer worshiper or anything. Worshipping the adversary. I believe it's this door. The door has been secured with a series of heavy bars with old motors to retract them. A stained, soiled keypad has been set in the doorframe. One karma gained. Yep. Luckily, Hellhounds aren't too bad. Except for AP damage. No, you get back here, pup. That's right. Punch a Hellhound to death. Also, speaking of which... we should have enough to increase body a little bit. Maybe not. Do need to do that. Yes. Confirm. I want armor breaking. Hey, 70 new yen. Also, Duncan. Well, first off, how badly am I hurt? I don't know why this game is running like garbage. Okay, well, I'm fully healed. Alright, so Strangler Bow's in there. Let's do this. Because this mission is actually pretty good for karma. We may have to threaten up one of the enforcers. Hey, SimSense vending machine. The SimSense machine has been left unlocked for restocking. There's a packaged data chip still in the tray. Steal a chip. Why not? Nobody's gonna miss it. Probably. Hopefully. And I'm pretty sure there's someone in there. Nope. So, another 60 new yen. Let's see if I can actually do anything with the door panel. Strangler Bow is just on the other side. The door has been sealed with a factory fresh mag lock. A high-sec keypad has been entered into the frame. Let's... Nope. Alright, fine. Go downstairs and talk to the enforcer, and hopefully he coughs up the info. So does the code work on this? I think you have to Decker bypass it, yeah. If you're a Decker, you can get right in, but... The Yellow Lotus Enforcer glares at you. You can see the outline of the old man's cred stick in his vest pocket. He flexes and his muscles bulge. What do you want? Step away, asshole, right now. I saw what you did to the old man back there. I'm here to get his money back. I've got a better idea. I think I'll take your money instead. He licks his lips. Give me your cred sticks or you'll get what the old guy got. I'm not playing around. Unarmed fork, kick him in the face. Your boot connects squarely with the bridge of the mugger's nose. There's a crunching sound, and he crumples like a rag doll. Gobbet glances down at the limp body of the unconscious triad soldier. Gotta admit, there was a certain poetry to that. Sifting through the thug's pocket, you find the scuffed cred stick that he lifted off the old man in the alley. The cheap LED display on the stick reads 063. Well, that's not particularly helpful. I'm talking to you. I don't want any trouble, boss, he exhales sharply. Please, just leave me be. Here's your cred stick. Oh, thank you. But I don't have anything that I can reward you with. But I appreciate what you did. You really don't have anything? You have 63 new yen. I hope it was worth it. Alright, any of you jokels have anything? Nope. I don't even remember where you get Strangler Bow's key code. I think technically you're supposed to take the stupid dwarf isobel with you, but nuts to that. Let's see if the gunrunner knows the passcode. I'm pretty sure he does. Ever heard anyone say prosperity in the walled city? He snorts his reply. If you're an organ legger or a gunrunner or a triad, there sure as shit is. Otherwise you'd look at hand-to-mouth, meal-to-meal existence here. How do you stand it here? Business is good here, man. Real good. Yeah, it's disgusting, but you go where the market is. I gotta run. Okay, well, he doesn't know. Let's search around up there, I guess, a little bit more. There has to be something to help me out. I don't want Isobel's help. Because I'm pretty sure that takes you back outside. Yeah, that's back out to the rooftops. Oh, hey. Strangler Bow's code. 6378. I was gonna guess that. Just kidding. Hello, Mr. Bow. No, don't stand behind him. A large man in his 50s stands waiting, his heavily tattooed arms held in a fighter stance. His bone structure is heavy. Corded muscle stands out in his arms and chest. In his In his youth, he must have been enormous. He doesn't talk so much as admit a low rumble. I don't know how you got in here, but you've got my attention. Good. I have a message from Kindly Cheng. A message from Cheng? I can't wait to hear you mangle it. He chuckles to himself. You speak Cantonese so well, but before I hear it, I have a little message for her too. You tell Kindly Cheng that her operations are done in the walled city. Strangler Bao has given himself a promotion. And tell her that if she sends any more errand boys to visit him with another message, Strangler Bao is going to send them back in a box. You think you can tell her that, errand boy? Should I write it down for you in English? I like it. Oh, come on, Strangler. Can I call you Strangler? We just want to hang out, play some video games, do triad stuff. Hold out the data stick. Just slot the stick, listen to the message, and I'll be gone, okay? I don't get to hear you butcher the message. I'm sad. He grabs a small plastic drive from your hand, slots it in the TRID player. Kindly Cheng stands erect, speaking directly into the camera. Mr. Bao, as everyone knows, you... Oh, I'm ruining her. I did her so good yesterday. As everyone knows, you are a man of swift action. I respect that. And because of that respect, I will get right to the point. I know where your money is coming from. I know that you have friends working for straw sandals like myself. They have been siphoning funds from their organizations. I know the noodle shop that you launder the money through. I have tasted their broth and found it wanting. The old woman becomes flinty hard. You have been stealing from the Yellow Lotus, glorifying yourself with that revenue that we have earned. And I have the files to prove it. Bao's eyes widen as the files begin to flit across the screen. Receipts, bank reports, personal communications between himself and his men. Kindly Cheng continues speaking, smooth and casual. Now, in light of our recent conflict, you might be wondering why I am keeping this information to myself. Why I haven't exposed you so you could be dragged away from your lotus den by the balls and slowly roasted on a rotisserie spit. In truth, I respect your ambition. You have a lot to learn about candor and loyalty, but I believe that you still have value. I am still willing to work with you. However, in order for that to happen, we need to come to an understanding about the nature of our partnership. Kindly Cheng steps forward, fills the screen. I own you, Bao. You and all your men. You are my fucking playthings. Dolls to twist and pose as I see fit. I am in this position because I am far better at this than you, and it is time that you learned it. Accept what I am telling you, and we can get back to business. Prosper together. But if you continue your little rebellion, I will mail tiny pieces of you to your children and take their pictures as they open the package. She produces one of her thin black cigars, lights it, holds the smoke for a long time. You have 24 hours to return to the fold. If you aren't here licking my heels by then, the information will be released and you will become food for fish. Your choice, Bao. 24 hours. The message winks out. Strangler Bao turns away from the screen slowly. His skin is ashen. Get out. He pauses, casts his eyes to the floor. And tell Miss Cheng to expect me at Swift Winds tomorrow. He stands up straight. Tomorrow morning. It was a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Bao. Just go. I went a little off course with Strangler Bao. It happens. Also, I need something to drink already. See? Simple little milk run. Get in, get out, go to the yellow place. Wu holds up his hand for everyone to stop. Turns to the two of you and hooks his thumb in his belt. Well, that was a thing. Never thought I'd be shuttling messages between criminals in a Hong Kong syndicate. I can't imagine what Raymond would have wanted in the walled city. This place just feels wrong. Must have been important. He flew all the way here, hired runners for an escort. But why? This place makes you feel like your life has no value. Like there's no point to anything. He sighs and looks at your companion. Great life you have here. Gobbet ignores the barb, scratches her head. I can't believe it. We actually delivered the old lady's message without anyone dying. I've had enough of the enough triads. Let's get out of this pit. I'm with you, Gun Show. I don't need to see this place ever again. Gun Show? Seriously? Wu's goggles pan down. Come to rest on Gobbet. That's not gonna stick, is it? Return to Haoi. Yeah, he pretty much gets called Gun Show for the rest of the game. Except when he's crying like a bitch. Hey, oi. It's hard to shake off the walled city. Its gravity clings to you as if wretchedness itself had grown tentacles. The sounds of suffering subside, but their echoes still thrum on your insides. Gobbet walks slowly, head down and both hands on her stomach, whispering a conversation to someone or something that only she can see. Her rats are silent and remain hidden in her clothing. Wu pauses a moment and breathes a sigh of relief when you finally reach the streets. But returning to Heoi isn't like coming home. Suspicious looks and closed mouths accent unsmiling faces that billboard a universal message. You don't belong here. Time to report back to Kindly Cheng and inform her that the message has been delivered. Get this business over with. Get your sin burned, and get on to the next step, whatever that is. You leave the City of Darkness behind, head to the Mahjong parlor, and a date with a crime lord. I wouldn't say a date, but more like you better get to the crime boss before she cuts you in half. Hey, 6 karma. I think that is just enough. Because my body needs to get built. No, thank you. There's not too much to do other than to immediately go and talk to her. Kindly Cheng watches you closely as you walk across the Mahjong parlor. As you approach her, her lieutenant leans in, brings her mouth close to the triad boss's ear. Cheng smiles and nods, her eyes never leaving you. There's a twinkle in the straw sandal's eye. I've heard from Bao. He got my message very clearly. And I understand that there were no casualties created during your little delivery run. I am pleased and surprised. Yeah, Gaba did a great job guiding us. A wry grin. Did she? Good to know. My message was delivered and Strangler Bao is back in the fold. Earning for me. As far as I'm concerned, our transaction is complete. While you were gone, I set the wheels in motion to wipe your identities. She pulls out her PDA, stabs a button with her lacquered fingernail. The order has been sent. Congratulations, you are now sinless. Shadow people. Wu exhales heavily. His eyes remain focused straight ahead, but his shoulders sag. I didn't like the way my life was going anyway. Wu pulls himself up to his full height. Yeah, well, I had something going in Seattle, Nick. I had my license, I was going freelance, found a storefront in Bellevue where Carter and I were going to set up shop. It's all blown to hell. He clenches a fist. Someone's going to pay for that. Pay for Carter. Whoever gave the kill order on Carter also forced us to give up our identities and took Raymond. Wu sets his jaw firm. That's all I can think about. Finding who did this. Finding Ray. Kindly Cheng holds up a hand. While I was working to get your sins burned, I also had my network look into Raymond Black's disappearance. She rests her PDA on the mahjong table facing you. The triad boss's tongue slips from her mouth as she looks over the top, hunting for the right button on its upside-down interface. She finds it and looks up at you again. I have news to share with you, my darlings. The kind you won't like. Raymond Black is dead. She taps the button and a recorded newscast appears on the screen. Raymond's photograph appears on the screen behind a reporter standing on the docks in Victoria Harbor. It's a picture you've seen before, a professional portrait taken for a press release about a youth center he was opening in Redmond Barrens. Under Raymond's photo are the words, Seattle man killed. Another shooting today involving the police department. A Seattle community organizer and industrial engineer was apparently shot and killed while resisting arrest at Victoria Harbor last night.
HKPF police report that the UCAS man, Raymond Black, was behaving erratically and would not respond to police orders to surrender. No additional information regarding Black or why he was traveling to Hong Kong are available. Police have stated that due to the shooting's proximity to last night's shootout with the White Star, the investigation must remain confidential, and no other details are being revealed at this time. Kindly Chang taps the button again and the video closes. Wu puts his hand to his face. This keeps just getting worse. You're right, Auntie. That was news I did not like. Raymond's dead. Wu puts his hand over his mouth, trying to process the information. He sways for a moment. It looks as if he's going to pass out. Isabel reaches out to touch Wu, thinks better of it, and pulls back her hand. Sorry for your loss. I never had a father, so I don't know what it's like to lose one, but sorry. Yeah, Raymond dies the same night we're ambushed. That's no coincidence. No fucking way. Kindly taps the video close. She hunts around the keypad and selects another button. I'm afraid that's not all, my darlings. This is the security footage from Victoria Harbor last night. You'll find it contains a contradiction. The PDA shows a silent, grainy video footage of Raymond sitting in a tea shop, flanked by two guards. He's looking down at something in his hand, completely distracted. The footage continues, and the camera displays several black-clad figures entering its field of view from different angles. Guns ready. A tall, sharply dressed man in a suit walks briskly towards Raymond, flanked by two more. Raymond stands to face him, and the camera gets a clear view of the suit's face. White plastic. His guards turn to draw weapons, and muzzle flashes erupt from all sides. One of Raymond's guard goes down, and his submachine gun fires wildly, hitting the camera. Wu puts his hand on the table and leans in. Those weren't cops, and Raymond wasn't resisting arrest. Really, are you that stupid, Duncan? What's with that guy's face? Gobbett reached up to stroke the rat perched on his shoulder. Is that a mask? It doesn't seem like a mask. It looks like some sort of semi-rigid plastic implant. Real craftsmanship. She pushes out her lower lip in appreciation. Quite the fashion accessory. It's also the kind of fashion accessory that stands out in a crowd. The guy's either a fool or an arrogant son of a bitch. He sets his jaw firm. Either way, I'm gonna find him. Kindly Chang watches Wu intently. I believe you. Wu stands back and turns to you. What now? We find the plastic-faced man, drag him somewhere private, make him dig his own hole, then we fill it. Kindly Chang's eyes sparkle. I like the way you think. That is exactly what I would do. But how? I'm afraid there are some facts you are going to have to face. She puts on a grave face. You are alone in this country. No network, no money, no identity. I can protect you from the police, but how would you go about discovering what happened to Raymond without me? How would you survive? Kindly wipes her hand across a stack of tiles, spreading the ivory color pieces across the table. You've had a very long night, my sweets. Very long. And frankly, you all look like shit. Rest now. I promise you safety in my town for the night. We'll talk about the plastic-faced man tomorrow. Kindly gestures to Gobbett and Isabel. Ladies, go find our new friends a place to bed down in the rat's nest squat boat you call home. We'll all talk after you've slept, figure out our next steps together. Yes, Auntie. Yes, Auntie. Thank you for your help, Auntie. Of course, my sweet. Kindly Chang smiles, and her black button eyes flash cold. What are friends for? I love Kindly Chang. I don't like Isabel. I don't like her story. I don't like her attitude. I don't like dwarves. Dwarves in Shadowrun are never to be trusted. Let's go on the safe boat. You two can bunk here for a while. She nods with her nose towards a hatch. You've got to head to take care of your necessities. Try to knock before you enter someone else's, okay? Seriously. I know the drill. Wu turns to face you. Stinks of fish, just like that place we squatted at on Leary's Ave back when we were kids. The one that the Atslan family and their dog. You hated that dog. He kept digging out of my food stash. No matter where I hid it, he'd find it and scarf down a week's worth of grub. He wipes his nose with a gloved hand. Still, it was sad that happened to him, and the family. No one should go out that way. Well, they're Athslan. You think they'd go out peacefully? He stretches. His spine pops like a handful of firecrackers. I think I've been up for something like 36 hours straight. He drops his arms. And this has been one shit stain of a day. Time to end it. The orc turns to you, raises an eyebrow. Anything you need before I leave you to it? Is it just you and Isabel living here? Yeah. Gobbet's mouth screws up a bit. Now that Nightjar and Gutshot are gone, it's just us. The squeal of metal grinding on metal rips through the boat. It sounds like it's coming from the level below. The creepy Russian guy renting the engine room downstairs. Nothing to worry about, though. He mostly keeps to himself. She checks her PDA. He'll stop soon. He's usually quiet by now. Place for my stuff? Yeah, check the locker over there. You can stash your stuff in it. No one will touch your things here. It's a lot bigger than it looks. Alright, I think I'll have a look around. Okay, but get some sleep soon. You look like you could use it. We'll go see Kindly in the morning. Figure out our next move. So we can go to bed, but are we? No. Bed is for chumps. We can go around and talk to people. Let's talk to Gobbet. Hey, Seattle. I'm not really in the mood to hang out right now. Heavy stuff going down, you know? It'll be fine for the time being, but I'd rather be alone. We'll talk later, though. I'm only reading that once, because she'll say that quite a bit. Isabel won't say anything. Yeah, it takes you to the waterfront. I'm trying to remember how you get down to Ratchet. Thought it was back here. I feel like I'm missing a portion of the ship. Yeah, you can go talk to Duncan, but there's no point. Or go talk to Ractor. Oh, it's right here. Yeah. I think he has to make his appearance first, actually. So let's go to sleep. Also, let's put away the drugs we have. We don't really need an injectable with us. The cot in your cabin is neatly made, with crisp-looking sheets and an insulated plastic blanket. A fine layer of dust coats its surface. It's been a long time since anyone slept here. And let me go do something real fast. Also, it's disgustingly rainy out today. It's like I'm actually in the game. Rain sound everywhere. Oh, I had hiccups. I've had hiccups all morning. Well, anyway, let's go to sleep. You climb into the cot and worm your way under the sheets. You've been starched stiff as boards, but you've slept beneath worse. The lice and bedbug that plague the old prison cell are mercifully absent here, and the salt air is fresher than the rancid stink of the Redmond Barrens. The moment your head hits the pillow, exhaustion sets in. You can barely keep your eyes open. Sleep washes over you like a warm bath, and everything goes black.
The dream is suffocating. The shifting tunnel of glass and steel, the towering silhouette of dark majesty, the shadowy doorway, and the teeth. They snap at your heels as you claw your way back to consciousness. You open your eyes to Duncan looming over you. He shakes your shoulders roughly. Neck, come on, Neck, wake up. We gotta go talk to Kindly. The others have already left. That was one rough night. He lets go of your shoulder, cocks a thumb at the hatch. We gotta go. We've been trying to wake you for a while now. You were thrashing around in your sleep. Thanks. Let's get going. We don't want to keep a mob boss waiting. My thinking too. I'm good to go. From the expression on his face, he doesn't look good to go. Did you get some rest? He reaches up and rubs the back of his neck. Enough, I guess. His fingers hit a knot. He winces. I didn't sleep well last night. Bad dream. Me too. Guess that's why I was thrashing. Guess so. I'm not surprised we both had nightmares, though. He stretches his shoulders. Nothing's gone right since we stepped foot in this country. Think about it. That statement from the cops on the newscast could be fake. Ours was. And the surveillance footage? We never saw Raymond get shot. The camera was hit by stray gunfire. His passion is intense, but contained. Focus. Raymond's alive, Neck. I know it. Yeah, you make a good case, Officer Wu. He smiles. His teeth are white and straight and perfect. Should have been a detective instead of a headbuster, right? His smile fades. God, I feel like I'm 12 years old again, squatting on a stinking trawler. My partner's gone, Raymond's gone, hell, I'm gone. I don't even have a name anymore. And now I can't go to sleep and hide from it all without having a nightmare. His jaw tightens and his teeth grind so loud you can hear it. What else is going to be taken away from me? You saw that piercing you got in Tacoma? I had to drop that. Hygiene issues. Wu struggles to smile. He fails. What the hell did we fall into here, Nick? I mean, what's coming next? I don't know. Whatever it is, we'll deal. He drops his hands to his hips, takes a couple of deep breaths. That's right, that's right. It's like Ray always said. Let's see. Yeah. It's good to do this one. But, yeah, let's do it. Shut up, Duncan, and let Neck do the talking. He chuckles, finally. I don't remember Raymond saying that. He said it under his breath. A lot. Don't mess with me, man. I know I've got anger management issues. He checks his watch. Gobbet and Isobel left a while ago. We should get going, too. See what that triad lady has to say. Also, my bot popped up. Finally. But it's only supposed to go after an hour. So, let's hop right on over. Oh, looks like they found somebody. Kindly's place reeks of stale cigar smoke and fresh urine. The click of mahjong tiles is strangely absent. In its place is a low murmur of laughter and an air of eager anticipation. All eyes are focused on the groaning figure kneeling bloody and bound at the feet of Kindly Cheng. She beckons to him with her finger, and he struggles towards her, the loud rustling of the plastic tarp crackling under his knees as he moves. His pants are wet with fear and pee. An acetylene torch lies on the table at Cheng's right hand. Kindly Cheng ignores the scene. She behaves as if it is all right in the world. How did you sleep, my little ones? Not too well, Auntie Cheng. Had a bad dream. You register a brief hesitation before she responds. You poor darling. Perhaps it's the food here. I understand that it can be a bit too spicy for outsiders. Still, a bad dream is better way to spend the night than getting a bullet to the ear while you sleep. She flicks a mahjong tile at the kneeling man's head.
Wouldn't you agree, shitbird?
She indicates the kneeling man with the incline of her nose. Shitbird here is a plainclothes cop. He snuck into the area last night while you were sleeping, hoping to find you and kill you before his competition got you first. My men found him outside the trawler where you were sleeping on. They saw to it that your rest was undisturbed and your location remained a mystery. She nods her head back towards the pillar of meat standing behind her. You can thank Mr. Bao for that. Thank you for guaranteeing our safety. Nah, does his nod at Strangler Bao. Bao inclines his head, 1/4 of an inch. She addresses the bloody man on his knees. Now, shitbird, tell my friends here what you told me. I don't know anything, I swear. We just got the orders last night. He pushes his head towards you and Wu from the floor, struggling to keep his balance. Somebody high up wants these two dead. The whole department is in on it. I don't know anything else. Someone from high up? The old woman lifts her foot, taps her chin with the toe of her shoe. How high? The cop looks up at her, looks around the room filled with triad soldiers. One of them opens his coat and shows the cop something inside. He closes it and slowly winks. The cop drops his head to his chest. All the way up. All the way up. It's someone on the council. Someone on the executive council wants these two dead? Cheng spits on him with a sneer. Fuck your ancestors to the 18th generation. Give me the truth. The cop wears the spittle. He never lifts his head. It's the truth, madam, I swear it. Whoever it was who labeled them as terrorists were to terminate with extreme prejudice. Kindly Cheng shuffles closer to the kneeling cop, reaches down and strokes his head with her hand. She slowly digs her fingers into his scalp. She pulls back hard until his chin points high. The triad boss leans in close and searches his eyes with her own. That's all he's got. She lets go of his head and smooths his buzz-cut hair with her hand. For whatever reason last night, someone on the executive council of the Free Enterprise Zone ordered the Hong Kong police force to kill two nobodies from Seattle. I find that fascinating, don't you? Not really. Corporations can just order cops to kill people here. Kindly Cheng smiles knowingly. Corruption is so ingrained in our society that we don't even see it as corruption. If a street vendor can get out of a sanitary citation by buying a cop a cup of tea for 5 new yen, imagine what a megacorp can do. Seattle isn't like Hong Kong. There, the megacorps control the government. Here, the corps are the government. The exec council is chosen by the corporate board of governors. They're basically the legislative and executive branches of the Hong Kong government in one tiny package. 8 people call all the shots, neat and efficient. Kindly Cheng steps back from the cop and lights one of her thin black cigars. For the wage slaves and civilian sheep, the corporations are a pantheon of gods who wield absolute power. She looks around the room. But not for us. The triad woman takes a long pull from her cigar and taps her ash on the kneeling cop's head. Who else knows about my guest's visit to Haoi Shitbird? No one, madame. I hadn't called in yet. I wanted to kill for myself. No one knows they're here, I swear it. She turns to Enforcer. Mr. Bao? Bao fiddles with the PDA in his meaty hands. He's telling the truth. No outgoing calls on his PDA. Very good. Thank you, Bao. She nods at the cop. Thank you for your honesty. In one smooth motion, Strangler Bao produces a silenced pistol, fires it once into the policeman's head, and replaces it in his jacket. His face never changes expression. Looks like the triads can be just as efficient. Kindly Cheng takes a drag on her cigar. Yes, my darling. She balances her cigar on her shot glass, picks up some mahjong tiles, and begins playing with them absently. It is clear that our friend Raymond Black was up to something involving the walled city, something having to do with prosperity. And this executive council member wanted Raymond dead for it. She stacks her tiles one by one, click-clack.
Now they want you dead for it, too. Click. This plastic-faced man may show up on your door one day, too. She knocks the pile over and it clatters to the table loudly. I have a proposal for you, my sweets. A smile lights up her dead black eyes. Work for me. With Nightjaw and Gutshot dead, I find myself with 2 job openings. Fill them. I have need of undeniable assets here. Players with the triads who can take care of some of the more unsavory business needs about town. You've proven yourselves resourceful, and you have no existing connections here. That can be a positive in this line of work. Shadowrunners. Boo grunts, his jaw tightens, but he stays quiet. In exchange, I will keep you safe from pests like this one. She nods at the body on the floor. The pool of blood on the plastic wrap continues to widen. You'll have safe harbor here in my town and a steady source of income. She picks up a handful of tiles again. And while you dip your toe in the water of corporate espionage, organized crime, and clandestine mercenary actions, I will employ my network to find the plastic-faced man and gather information about Raymond Black. Where he's been, who he's talked to, who stood to gain from his death, and what this prosperity could be. What's in it for you? Besides the money and the benefits of helping others in my community? I need to learn who killed one of my clients, then order the cops to execute my team of Shadowrunners. Her voice drops and becomes deadly serious. This is a brazen disregard of my power. Face dictates it must be confronted, or I stand to lose everything. Alright, we need to find out who killed Raymond and why. We shall, my sweet. She leans in. Work with me. Allow me to help you make money. Let my network work for you. And help you find out what you've gotten yourselves into. Without my help, you won't last a day out there. You are completely out of your depth, I'm afraid. You need a partner. Kindly Chang will be your partner. Wu's hands go to his hips. He drops his head, shakes a little, confused. I gotta wrap my brain around this, Nick. Things are moving fast. There's a lot to process. Yeah, you had to see this coming, Duncan. I did. I know. I get it. I just gotta reconcile this whole... He grips the back of his neck, squeezes hard, rips his hand away. Ah, fuck it. I'm not a cop anymore. That guy's dead. He nods. The decision's made. I'm in. What about you? There's good money in the shadows. It's about time I cashed in. He nods, grimacing a little. All about the new yen, huh? Not surprised. That's cool, but it's not where my head is at. Not at all. Raymond is alive, I'm sure of it. So I'll run the shadows as long as Auntie Sheng keeps up her end of the bargain and helps us figure out what really happened to him. Then I'm going to find my father. I don't know why the ship creaky noise is still going on. It's weird. Then it's done. Haoi is now open to you. She gestures to her lieutenant, who raises a finger to her ear and whispers into her sleeve. First order of business. Neck Puncher here has already chosen the street name. She turns her attention to Wu. But Duncan Wu doesn't exist anymore. You'll need one too. Wu sighs. Yeah, okay, I'll think of something. Gobbet rubs her cheek against her rats, a glint in her eye. I think we've already got you covered, Gunshow. She turns to Isobel. Fits, doesn't it? Indeed. I knew that was going to stick. It has stuck. Gobbet, Isobel, we'll handle this the same way we did with all your previous work. She didn't say Nightjar. All the jobs I line up for you will be sent to your computer on the squat boat. She's pointing at you. I got it. Why him? It's a simple process of elimination. She points to the little decker. Isobel isn't the leader type. You got that right. She moves her finger to the orc girl. As for Gobbet, let's just say Gobbet doesn't have a head for business. Not my thing. She rests her finger on Wu. And then there's Gunshow. She wiggles a lip. The jury is out on Mr. Gunshow. Meaning? Her response is direct, straightforward. Meaning there's a lot going on in that head of yours right now, and I'm not sure if I can trust you. I'm in charge because I'm the best of the worst? Oh, my sweet, don't put it that way. She opens her arms. You're the most equipped for the role. She's making sense. You're the right person for this neck. Yep, okay. I guess I'm running the show. Neck Puncher doesn't exist anymore. Call me Neck Puncher, because he didn't put, like, an actual name in it. Wu shakes his head, eyebrow raised. Gonna be weird calling you Neck Puncher again. Haven't called you that since we were kids. Gobbet looks from Isabel to Wu to you. I guess this is our new crew. The rat on her shoulder scurries to the top of her head for a better view. Welcome to the shadows, Neck Puncher. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking on the icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, yeah, same thing as Shadowfall. So, spirits will never break away in the first 2 rounds, or Gobbet spends more time at the firing range, increasing her range, combat skill, and SMG specialization. No. Spirit control. Mini launcher is really nice. But Tar Blaster is also really good. Yeah. Underslung Beanbag is kind of funny to hit people with a beanbag. Yeah, the beanbag is way better. Knocking out 2 AP. But so, now we have a whole waterfront to explore. So we have, first off, this friendly fellow, Reliable Matthew. Smooth jazz drifts from chief speakers on this barge. A wide array of worn-down drones litter the battered deck. Most are utility and domestic types, but a few cordoned off from the others are low-end security models. The salesman smiles indulgently at you, a tall, lanky human of clear Cantonese ancestry. He's wearing a cheap suit and limply clutching a smelly cigarillo. He adjusts his tie with exaggerated nonchalance, languid, ostentatious, like an American casino promoter. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome to our little floating heaven. You've got a discernible look to you. What brings you to Reliable Matthew's Robot Bazaar? He taps Ash over a bulky cleaning drone beside him. Not waiting for an answer, he continues, Perhaps you're looking for a hexacopter as a guide to Hong Kong, or a little handheld tarantular beauty to brew your tea? Are you calling me beautiful? You know it, beautiful. I hope I don't offend. I just can't help it. To me, everybody's beautiful, baby. Right back at you, beautiful. Oh, a man after my own heart. You're Reliable Matthew? That's right. Reliable Matthew Shun, at your service. He extends his hand to shake. The odors of peach-scented moisturizer and stale tobacco smoke wash over you. How about it? Pleasure to meet you, Reliable Matthew. Always, always. Welcome to our little patch of peace on the river. I think you'll really love Haoi. It's just a fantastic place. Well, now that we're acquainted, maybe I can brighten up your day a bit. What's on your robot list, friend? I'm interested in your combat models. Reliable Matthew looks over his shoulder at the security drones, some heavily cannibalized, in the corner of the yard. He turns back to you with a nervous smile. Funny you should ask. I've just gotten a Doberman. That I'm selling at a bargain price. Shall we take a look? Yes. Look at the security drones, all of them. Yep. So now you can actually get different types of drones, like flying drones, walking drones, grenade launching drones. I believe there's a shotgun drone. Also, new armor. Like the old song says, a droney day is a happy day. Goodbye, Matthew. I like Reliable Matthew, but I never play as a rigger, so... We actually need to go up to our friend up here, who is going to be our friend for most of this journey, in terms of buying stuff. Normally it's Law, but... Nope. Law is not our friend. We're not a decker. We want this fellow, Spider Shen. Despite the wind and rain pelting Haoi, the proprietor of this stall, a monk, judging by their outfit, is unconcerned. The monk's expression is indifferent, though hardly pallid or serene. Muscles show as tightly wound metal bands beneath the skin, ready to snap in any direction without warning. What's more, the monk's robes are anything but ordinary. Certainly, silk makes up the base outfit, but it's paired with high-impact ballistic armor, heavy-duty boots, and a bandolier of throwing knives. The table in front of you is arrayed with a wide variety of melee weapons, charms, jade pendants, and other mystical accoutrements. Beneath an awning in the rear are rows upon rows of cages, each housing some variety of exotic reptile or insect. These in turn are flanked by jars and boxes of Chinese herbs, incense, powders, and inks. The monk spares you only the shortest of glances as you approach. I am Monk Shen. Most people in Haoi call me Spider Shen, on account of the spiders back there. You're not local, not by a long shot. It's definitely a statement, not a question. Yeah, what about it? Shen shrugs, and swings open a palm across the table in front of you. So you probably have more reason to buy something than my neighbors, and I'm here to sell, so that's good. Swords, knives, clubs, I sell it all. I make most of these, but if I can't, I've got friends who can. If you need incense or salves for medication, I can make and sell you those too. If your joints ache, I can give you acupuncture. Shen places both palms on the table, leaning over it towards you with a wicked grin. So, what can I show you? You sell the snakes and spiders too. Let me take a look at your wares. So he has katanas, machetes. Street monk outfit is pretty good. It's better than what I have. Plus it's not bad looking. He also sells adept spells. And he will have more other stuff. Or chi casting technically. And let's sell you some toko. Ah. No. I'm gonna sell our secure clothing, which is garbage. Armor 1. You sell the snakes and spiders too? Shen shakes a finger at you, eyes narrowed. No, they're mine. I can sell you things I craft with my hands, or things I can do, but with medicines and poisons I make are my secret. If you want those, you apprentice to me. In 5 years, maybe I show you how to make a poultice, eh? Okay, sheesh, no need to get upset. You want to learn? You need patience. You try to learn without patience? All you do ape the masters. All you do is ape the masters. Shen snaps 2 fingers and points to the cages. You have to truly understand them to learn my art. Otherwise, you never become a master. Might as well get a skill soft. That's all for now. And you've got a more interesting character to talk to. I actually don't need to go into Club 88 at all. There's actually no reason. There's a whole story, like if you have guns, to go into Club 88 and talk to them. But I don't use guns, so there's no point.
But we want to talk to my friend here. A massive steel security door set into a bunker-like concrete wall. There's no sign, nor identification of what this place is. A battered intercom is encased in a cage of welded steel and armored glass. Grainy letters are barely readable on the screen. Chrome Alley, medical services and mechanical repair. Premises protected by deadly weapons and infectious diseases. Press the buzzer. There's a crackle of static, then a brusque voice answers. What do you want? The voice's Cantonese is precise, but the accent sounds American. Is this a medical clinic? No, it's a chicken factory. What do you want? I need a cyberdoc? Yeah, that's me. But listen, guy, I don't know you. I don't like people I don't know. Who sent you? Kindly will vouch for me. Yeah? You just idle your engine there for a minute and I'll check on that. There's a long silence on the intercom. The door gives several metallic clicks and there's a dull rumble, like heavy bolts sliding back. A green light flashes on the terminal. The door appears to be unlocked. You can enter the clinic. Chrome Alley. 10-armed Ambrose. This clinic looks like it just hosted a party. Spindly mechanical arms swing from unobtrusive wall mounts, pulling down crepe paper ribbons and scooping food platters and empty beer bottles into biohazard bags. A severely crippled Caucasian man sits in a wheelchair amidst a maelstrom of mess and robotics. He's in his 40s, thick beard, tungsten earrings, beer belly, one cyber eye. Both his legs are missing, one at the hip, the other at the knee. He has only one arm, and only 3 fingers remain on the surviving hand. His face and arms show the scars of reconstructive surgery. He grins widely at you, regarding you with bloodshot eyes. He's clearly hungover. Hey, I'm Ambrose. He shouts cheerfully in English, his words piling together in a loose Midwestern accent. They call me 10 Arms. Welcome to the Kong, fellow UCASian. He chuckles, his chest shaking with mirth. A Waldo arm springs to life and swings over to him. Its menacing metal pincher momentarily sets a cigarette between his lips, just long enough for him to inhale from it. Kindly says you're all right. What can I do for you? Show me your services. Sure thing. Tune-up or spare parts. Cyberware. So yeah. So we have a ton of stuff. Looks like we can only really afford a data jack at the moment. Cross Cyber Spur. Yeah, you need Cyberware Affinity to get a lot of these. Skill Wires, throwing weapons +1. I do like these, the Spurs. +4, or Strength +4, causes 1 bleeding, does no AP damage, pierces up to 1 armor. Satyr Krupp Skill Wires, quickness and range combat up. Of course, the Shiawase bone lacing per body +1. You have your Silvertech Cyberarms this time instead of just Cyberarm basics. Ares Dermal Plating for R +1 armor. And the As Technology Cyber Legs. So we have Renraku Skill Wires, which are just 1 dodge. But the Ares Hand Razors are pretty good. I don't know why there's all Cyberware installs. I think that's just for when you get it done. Services, medical supplies. You don't have better ones. And let's just grab 3 med kits. Confirm. Come back to the garage soon. Yeah, your front door could stop a bulldozer. Why so fortified? Are you kidding? You have any idea how much all the stuff in here is worth? This is a high capital operation, and life's dangerous for a guy missing most of his members, tooling up smugglers and criminals. Let me tell you what, though. Someone busts in here, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Ambrose chuckles evilly. There's a lot more than pipes and wires up in the false ceiling, and I've got Kindly's crew and the Club 88 boys on the panic button.
They know which side the bread is chromed on. What, you thinking of trying to knock me over? He laughs uproariously, but it's not clear if he's kidding. You're a doctor? Sure I am. I'm a rigger doctor, a rockter. Ambrose bursts into laughter, then stops and clutches his head. Oh man, I cannot laugh hard today. Too much partying last night. It hurts. I'm not board certified, but don't worry, I should be. I'm full on skilled. My work's Yellow Lotus guaranteed and precisely in accordance with World Medical Association standards. Everybody in HOA comes to me, 'cause I'm the only option. Ambrose chuckles delightedly. Very well, Rockter. Right on. Let's get you tricked out, unless you just want to bullshit, which I'm down for too. Goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. Cheers, neck puncher. Talk to you later. I don't need to investigate the thing in there. I think it's just like a bloody waiting chair. So we also have law. First, we gotta inspect this. The insulation on these heavy wires is cracked. They buzz and crackle occasionally as stray drips from the awning strike them. Maximum law. Overhead, a gigantic hollow sign shines like a searchlight, screaming its message through the dim light. It hums and flickers, sputtering like an engine. Fierce electrical crackles sporadically burst out of the sign's emitter, stabbing your eyes and filling your ears with static. Under the baleful glare of the sign, the rusty mini-barge's deck is stacked with electronics. Dilapidated stereos share space with crisply boxed servers. Ranks of discs and memory chips fill display cases, padlocked under plexiglass. A short human in his late 20s stands in the middle, hands on hips, talking loudly into the air. A bulky virtual reality goggles cover his eyes. A data jack cable runs from his temple down his stained t-shirt to the beltload of clearly home-built computer hardware. No, I'm telling you, his voice is shrill, clipped. Nobody uses KM3. Like, nobody. They're shit. I don't care what Deng says. If Shiawase SRP uses KM3s, they're stupid. Hey, flesh is rolling up. I gotta go. His face turns to you, goggles blank and enigmatic, blinking with tiny lights and wrapped in duct tape. He points at your PDA. I ripped that PDA. You work for Kindly. His lips work impatiently. So what do you want? Or, yo, what do you want? You provided this PDA? Tell me about it. It was a Fuji Azura Star 3. They use a Scarab chip, which is good, but the motherboard is wet noodles and sprouts. I pulled out the trackers and installed encryption. Now it runs on Wampoa virtual networks. The corps and cops can't crack it, can't track it. Well, thanks for the PDA. He shrugs dismissively. It's what we do. This is Law's Technology Palace, satellite territory of Wampoa. You step on the boat, you're in a sovereign state. I represent Wampoa here. I'm Maximum Law. He draws himself up proudly, setting his hands on his hips. The Maximum Law, yo. You got a tech problem? Boom, I solve it. You need software? Boom, done. But don't waste my time. So if you got any business in Wampoa right now, if not, keep moving. Item SimSense chip. Found this thing while poking around the walled city. Worth anything? He scans the chip's casing with a handheld optical reader. Yo, that shit is banned. Lifted off some Yellow Lotus? They traffic this stuff. Delimited sim chips. Full sensory experiences. You looking for a buyer? I can make that happen. How's 120 new yen sound? Sure, take it. Hope it finds a good home. Yeah, I'll sample it first. But these cowhots can send you for a trip. Don't worry, I can handle my sims. I'm here for tech. Show me what you got. So yes, now they actually have other board types. A lot more programs. So it's kind of nice. See you later, Law. Yeah, whatever. And there's nobody over here at the food stand.
But either way, I think I'm going to cut it out early before we go do some more talking, because A, my throat's sore, and B, because I want to do some cleaning today. So that's going to be all for today. Tomorrow we'll go start our new life as a Shadowrunner. Actually, probably Friday. So I thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.